Okay, this is Greg and Rich from Daily Dose of Gematria, and we are talking to Rich while in the hospital. And some interesting things have been happening on Daily Dose here recently. I'm sure Rich will tell. Yeah, I'm sure Rich will tell you a little bit about his hospital experience here before we get into it. There, in case you don't know. So, go ahead and tell us what's going on, Rich.
Well, Greg, a lot of people know already. I've been posting a lot. I'll start off by me and Greg are friends, and Greg's one of my number one admins. And we had a disagreement for the last week or two, and we don't have to get into that. Some people know, some people don't. It's really not a big deal. Me and Greg spent a week typing to each other, and I think those our messages were misunderstood, and I think Greg understood my point a little better when I got to talk to him face to face here on Zoom. So we're going to look past our little difference and agree to disagree. And we have a lot of big things going on right now, especially with me being in the hospital. Anybody that don't know, I've spent the last 10 years plus being pretty stressed out, traveling on the road, being on foot, looking for my son, getting custody, positive stress, negative stress. And when I got back to Fort Wayne this last time, I took the Greyhound bus back, and I got back with the worst headache I've ever had in my life. And the headaches had been ongoing for a couple of years, but, they gradually got worse. And I just said, fuck it. I went to the hospital. And they said, they took my blood and they said, oh, you have failing kidneys, high blood pressure, and that's what's causing the headaches. So for the last 10, 12 days, I've been cooped up in the hospital, but I haven't even had a headache in a week, which is, I feel great. My numbers are good, and I did a biopsy today. I'll find out if I have to have dialysis for a long time or a transplant, or if my kidneys are getting better tomorrow. I have a feeling my kidneys will be getting better, though. So that's that.
And at the same time, making plenty of contacts to the nurses.
Oh, yeah, I've been waking up. Yeah, the entire hospital knows about Zach's work now, as well as the rest of the world needs to learn. I'd like to add, since Greg's been on vacation from Daily Dose for the last week or so, I'm always thinking, and Zach has, 1,500 friends on Facebook, and a lot of them don't know Daily Dose of Gematria. A lot of them don't know us. So I got this idea where it says, under people you may know. I kept seeing a bunch of people. Every time I click one that has Zach as a mutual friend, it'll show me another one and another one and another one. So I clicked on about 500 of those babies. So my notifications are like I hit the jackpot on a slot machine. Like, this person accepted your friend request. This person accepted your friend request. Well, when they see that Zach Hubbard is a mutual friend, they're automatically going to know what time it is. Why is this guy sending me a friend request? Zach Hubbard's a mutual friend. They're going to see my cover photo, the business card. They're going to see to go to Daily Dose of Gematria. And I'm posting now. I'm posting louder on my page, not Daily Dose. I'm posting on where my friends and family are, and letting people know it's time to turn the volume up. We're getting more people to come in. We're getting more undeniable content, and we're not conspiracy theorists. We are amongst some of the smartest people in the world. Zach Hubbard's amongst the smartest person in the world because nobody else is uncovering all this. And Greg, I'll let them know that we're gonna talk about a couple stories, a couple posts, and a couple posts that you don't know about until about a half hour ago. Why don't you tell them about the first one, because I know it hits home good with you.
That blew my mind. Just showed me a video about Gilbert Godfrey showing up and shouting in his, extremely annoying voice, "Stay off the Golden Gate Bridge on August 11." Shouting it really loud. And it was on Instagram originally. And apparently when after Zach had posted on it and others went back to look for it, it was gone. So that's obviously put there to get some, probably our attention. probably Zach's attention,
Well,
possibly. Um, and it worked. So I don't know how it got to him, if he noticed it first or somebody sent it to him, but it got to him for sure. And of course, like you're pointing out, Gilbert Godfrey is Jewish. And just to rehash what Zach said on the video, just 144th or 134th day after his birthday, and Tisha B'Av is 134. And his full name, Gilbert Jeremy Gottfried, was 118, just like Bridge is 117, just one from it. So,
well, not to mention what his name is 118, and we're looking at the reverse of that August 11th, 8/11.
yeah, exactly. So like
everything lines up perfect.
Yeah, the 8th month being August, because some people knew they're not going to catch on, but August.
Well, the people on our Facebook page aren't going to catch on to this. We want them to know that this lines up like the stars in the sky.
Yeah, this guy was chosen, man. He was chosen to say this. Obviously this was part of the ritual. So there's more to it than just he wants to get our attention. I mean, this is a piece of the ritual and a very strong confirmation of that we're not just making this stuff up and pulling it out of our butts. I mean, this is real.
Well, Greg, let me throw a couple angles here at you. Think of myself as a pretty smart guy, and I'm always going to wonder if I'm getting scammed. Here's one thing I have to look at. Zach Hubbard is kind of famous online. And with that being said, I'm sure a lot of athletes that he talks about their rigged sports. I'm sure a lot of athletes watch his videos, but they're not going to comment on the feed. You know what I mean?
Not if they want to keep working.
Well, it's not only that, they're not going to give us the time of day. Name a famous Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs isn't going to comment on our feed, bro. But he might see the videos. So what if Gilbert Godfrey saw the video and now he's trolling us to make us look bad if it doesn't happen? Now, that's just one scenario I got to look at. The other scenario is that Gilbert Godfrey is saying this because he is one of these Jewish people and he's doing it to troll us, and nothing's going to happen to the bridge on August 11th, but that makes us look bad, right? But now here's the thing. Who else in the world is talking about a bridge in San Francisco on August 11th? Not a single person.
The only people are people that know Zach,
Zach is the only single person, okay? And he came up with it out of a riddle. It's not like Good Morning America or the news or any other talk show is speculating if something's going to happen to the Golden Gate Bridge, and that's where Zach piggybacked his information. Zach came up with this himself. So what is Gilbert Godfrey talking about? Don't go on the bridge on August 11th for? Why in the world would that be coming out of Gilbert Godfrey's mouth when we're a bunch of nobodies? We're a bunch of nobodies at Daily Dosage Gematria. Richard Quinn made a page. Okay, we've been talking about it since September of 2018, speculating the Golden Gate Bridge. Zach Hubbard's just a conspiracy theorist, right? What is Gilbert Godfrey talking about stay off the Golden Gate Bridge for, bro? So we're either getting trolled or are getting worked, or maybe whether it happens or not, we're pretty fucking relevant. Maybe because here's the psychology behind it, Greg. I know I have trouble explaining things, guys, sometimes. If Gilbert Godfrey is saying that, and he's, someone high up asked Gilbert Godfrey to say that to make us look bad because nothing's going to happen to the bridge, then that just means they're doing it to try to make us look bad because all the other stuff we expose is true. Right? Are you feeling me on that one?
Mm-hmm.
And if he's saying it because it is going to happen, then that just makes it even more truer right there. My mind's blown by this, bro. Gilbert Godfrey is calling. I mean, we could actually take a minute of silence right now, Greg, and just like think it over and see if we can come up with anything of what's going on here, bro.
Yeah,
Is Zach playing it?
If he was doing this just to make us look bad,
right?
then he would have probably, in my mind, pointed us out in some way, pointed Zach out. You know,
he would have pointed Zach out, yeah.
But so because that didn't happen, I don't really think that he's pointing us out. I think something's going to happen, and I think the whole point of it was that it's a legitimate, actual part of the ritual, part of these people that are putting it on.
So you're saying then, if since he didn't point Zach out to try to make us look bad, that the bridge thing's it's going. The bridge is going to get destroyed, or something's going to. You're saying 100% that something's going to happen now.
No, I'm not 100%, but I mean, whatever this ritual is, even if it doesn't end up actually happening,
yeah, it might not even be the bridge.
Whatever. I am saying I think he's a part of whatever this crazy riddle is that's been going on.
Well, there's obviously a riddle now. We've just proven that because we've been talking about it for over a year, or however long it's been, and amongst our own community, amongst handfuls of people that are nobody. We're nobodies, bro. Who are we? Are we on Good Morning America, bro? Are we on the talk shows of America? No, we're not. We're people on Facebook. So how is Gilbert Godfrey talking about what we're talking about? Unless we're relevant. Unless it's relevant. Now, to the people who don't know, okay? Can you explain to them what Tisha B'Av, I can't pronounce it correct, what it is, and when's the last time, what happened on the last Tisha B'Av, and who predicted what happened on the last Tisha B'Av? This is the kicker right here, Greg, and I know you can explain this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll sit here and
I probably wouldn't even have heard of this if it wasn't for Zach. I mean, I've known about the two temples, of course, having gone to Bible college and everything about, I knew the two temples have been destroyed. Tisha B'Av, though, is they take a day on the Jewish calendar, so it's different days on our calendar, okay, but it's the same on their calendar every year, but it's different on the Julian calendar. Now, that is a time to remember the loss of the two temples. The first one destroyed in 586 BC by Nebuchadnezzar, and the second one destroyed by the Romans in AD 70. So two temples, and so they mourned that loss. It's also been a day of bad fortune and misfortune. They say all the bad things that happened to the Jews over the centuries happened on Tisha B'Av. So last Tisha B'Av, where something big happened, was predicted by Zach Hubbard, and that was the Las Vegas shooting. And he was pointing that out months in advance, just like this one. And sure enough, the paddock ritual with the shooter being in room 135 and on 9/11, Highway 91, which is like 9/11, straight down from the eye of the pyramid, from this 32nd room, and just all the unbelievable math. His name literally sums when multiplied out, and septenary equals the sun, the diameter of the sun. All that is extremely relevant because it was a obvious ritual sacrifice. Jason Aldean, J.A., and what's that?
J is the 10th letter, A is the first letter, 101.
October 1st, yeah, so 10-1.
October 1st. Sin
Right.
City equals 101. Las Vegas equals 101. Everything equaled 101. Now, another thing, back to your room 135. When you compare that room 135 to now what this upcoming Golden Gate Bridge equals 135. Am I correct, Greg?
Right. Look at the board that I just did where I just finished making a video a little bit ago about this number 135. The unbelievable number of things that have to do with 135. It's unfreaking real. Okay? This 135 represents, and its converse, 153, is the 153 fish that were caught by the disciples. And that has to do with shipping, with water, and with destruction. It's making a mockery of fishers of men and the opposite of bringing in the Christ consciousness is bringing in a beast consciousness and the destruction of men rather than the salvation of men. And it's very well understood by these occultists, just like on iPet Goat 2, when all the fish were jumping out of the water into the boat and then they come out of vagina. My title of my video was Vagina, the Symbol of Christianity, and
Right.
yeah. So, and I just did this whole video just a little bit ago on this whole 135:53. Now, the Bumblebee movie, like you said, Golden Gate Bridge equals 135. But on the Bumblebee movie, there is a helicopter, and on the tail of the helicopter it says 13553, showing that 135 and 53 are the same freaking thing. And
it's the reflection of each other, and we've seen that in many other riddles that we've shown for various other things. So,
well, if you write out 35, it equals 53. You see?
Yeah.
Tiger Woods won this year because Tiger Woods equals 135.
Hey, Greg, since there's going to be people on Facebook seeing this that may not know, we want you to know that every word has a numeric value, and you weren't taught that. You were taught geometry with numbers when you were a little kid, but it's not an accident you weren't taught geometry with letters. Do you know why? Because secret societies hide their bullshit in there. Do you know why you weren't taught day numerology? Because secret societies hide their bullshit in there. For 6 years, Zachary K. Hubbard has been on, what's my word, Greg? Unraveling hidden things within day numerology and gematria. Gematria is the core belief that God created the word through letters and numbers. I don't say this shit. I'm chopping it up. You know what I mean, guys. I'm going to butcher it every time. The man always fucking explains it better than I do. In other words, Jewish mysticism is the core belief that God created the word with numbers. Mm-hmm. And it's not an accident you weren't taught that. This isn't our conspiracy theory. We're not sitting here studying UFOs, aliens, and Bigfoot, guys. Okay? This stuff is all true.
Yeah.
We proved it. We're going to prove it with the angels. Well, we already proved it with the angels thing, but Greg hasn't seen it yet. Greg doesn't know sports well, but we proved that the Angels game was rigged. So if the Angels game's rigged, is the other 162 baseball games not rigged?
Right.
It's all a joke. So only one of the games are rigged, but the rest of the games aren't rigged. So if they rigged the game, well, that means the players are liars. So if the players are liars, that means the whole league's a liar, And just like if the president is born and bred to be, that means the president isn't voted in, and that means they're all liars. And that means your media is a liar. So in this world, who's not a liar? I could probably sit here and go on for the next hour. I've been pretty pissed off this week. You give me 10, 12 days in a hospital bed with no responsibility, I've got a lot done. And I don't care. I got nothing much to lose in life but to go shut down federal government. And I will be the first one to throw the first punch. You can guarantee that, bro. I do not care. I do not care.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty obvious that can't be taken as a literal threat. I mean, he's literally sitting in a hospital bed right now. So, Rich is not in any position to actually storm the federal government literally.
I actually am, bro. If you take this thing off right here, no, you can tell the government. No, bro. Tell them when I get out of the hospital. I am done, bro. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing all week. I'm being louder. I'm posting more. I'm making moves. I'm not going to be the one. I'm not going to just go and hit somebody. I want to bring 1 million people to the White House, Greg. I mean, don't get it twisted.
Right. That would be great.
When I'm talking about throwing the first punch, I'm talking about just fucking them up, bro. I mean, bringing 1 million people there is throwing a punch,
Definitely, it'll definitely get their attention, even though they'll lie about it and cover it up, just like they do with the anti-abortion marches. It's
Greg,
like, there'll be a million people there, and they'll say, "Oh, 1,000 people showed up." There'll be a million.
Greg, Greg, if we actually had 1 million people locked and loaded at the White House, they would be resigning from their jobs because they would be done. They would be done, and they need to be. So where were we, Greg? We got off track of the. Did we explain the whole thing on the fucking Golden Gate Bridge thing? We might as well butter the popcorn up and just wait for the bridge to land in the water off some man-made earthquake, right?
Yeah, we have on Daily Dose there. If you want to sign up to go to the Golden Gate Bridge, I'm going to try to get there. I don't know how. I don't have any money. Literally.
It's not a good idea, Greg.
Well, I'm
You
not
know
gonna
what
go
I'm
on
thinking?
the bridge. I wanted to go down there and try to film some of it or
What happened, Greg? What's been happening leading up to August 11th? What happened on July 4th? Earthquakes.
Yeah, it could be a big earthquake thing. Yeah, it could.
What I think they might do is there was earthquake on July 4th, right? Did you hear the punchline on that?
Say
it was the biggest earthquake in California in 1,776 days.
Oh, really? Did they say that? Did they really?
Zach figured that out, bro. Zach figures everything out, bro. You must have missed that video.
I must have.
That's just a little bonus there for you. But what if they say something? They have those aftershocks, right? Or they'll have another earthquake. What if they have another major earthquake on August 11th or August 10th, and then they say maybe there was damage on the bridge from the last earthquake, and that's what knocked down the bridge or something.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
That was centered directly under a military base. I mean, come
on. Right. I don't know, bro. Maybe nothing happened with the bridge. Maybe there's still no guarantees, but really, Gilbert Gottfried. And I'd like to remind everybody, the last false flag, before the Vegas massacre was 9/11, and let's not forget that Flight 77 took off and crashed 77 minutes later into the 77th Pentagon, which lies on the 77th meridian. Tom Brady, born in 77. World Trade Center sums to 77. September 11th sums to 77. What's Gilbert Gottfried's initials, bro?
Well, GG, Golden Gate. I didn't think about that. Gosh. Look at that.
Let me know when you get it.
GG, Golden Gate.
What's the numeric value for that, Greg?
77. Just like Grant Gutfield on Fox and Friends.
Yep.
Wow. GG, Golden Gate, Gilbert Godfrey.
Wow. What are they doing, bro?
Okay, but this confirms. Okay,
why don't we just sit here with a moment of silence for the Golden Gate Bridge right now, bro? We can be the first ones. Go ahead, girl. I'm sorry to interrupt
you. We'll go ahead. We'll give it a 15-second here, a moment of silence. Because we'll be the first ones to say, look, we actually already thought about the people who are going to die that day in advance, and we'll pull this out afterward and we'll show it to frickin'.
You know what? I just thought of something.
First one.
Probably putting people. Hold up. They're probably putting people like him on the air. So actual people won't go on the Golden Gate Bridge, but you know what they're going to do? It'd be more like crisis actors. It'd be dummies in the cars because it'd be a drill, and they'll report it as a tragedy.
Yeah.
Everyone in California would be instructed to not go on the bridge anyway because they're going to do something. But the people that are instructed will not know what's really going on, right? Are you with me? But then when something happens and they have cars going down into the water, those would be dummies inside the car. But then they'll report it as deaths like they usually would. You see?
Maybe.
That makes sense.
See, that's why we need somebody there. We need somebody with a good camera, which I do not have, or I don't have the money to buy one. But we need somebody there filming this thing with good cameras so we can disprove whatever the con that they're going to pull.
You're right about that, but if it is a man-made earthquake and what if they rock the whole city? You know,
Well,
you don't want to be
the bridge, but I mean, you know, get off.
No, bro, are you kidding me? It wouldn't matter if you're just on the bridge. You wouldn't want to be anywhere in the area, bro. You wouldn't even want to be in like another town around there. If they do some, you know, earthquake that's like an 8 or a 9 or even a 7, you won't even want to be within 50 to 100 miles of the place. You know?
I mean, wouldn't you be pretty safe if you were just out in an open area?
Well, did you see the videos on the earthquakes that were on July 4th? They were getting aftershocks, and like Las Vegas was feeling it, and those. And if you think about it, if there is something going to happen with earthquakes on August 11th to knock the bridge down, if you think about it, those other couple earthquakes on July 4th and July 5th, those would just be the appetizers. You know what I mean? If you think of leading up to it, because they're all man-made earthquakes. Because if we can predict there's going to be earthquakes a year in advance, or if the Golden Gate Bridge is going down, those are man-made earthquakes.
Okay, whether or not they're dummies that they're throwing in there, or if they're going to be real people, let's give them 10 seconds of silence here, Rich.
Okay,
yeah, so there we go. The first memorial for those victims, real or fake, of the Golden Gate Bridge have already been memorialized.
Let me tell you something. This is I made Daily Dose of Gematria before the Golden Gate Bridge theory came up, and it wasn't that long ago, but we put a lot of work in since then. It's July right now, right? Let's see. I've already moved to Oklahoma last March and came back. And before that, September, August, I think I must have made the Dose of Gematria maybe around August, July or August of last year. Think of all that time that's went by, all the videos we posted on other rigged things, all the stuff we've talked about, waiting for this next August 11th, a year later, you know, and now we're approaching it, and we're looking at Gilbert Godfrey telling everybody to stay off the Golden Gate Bridge. And here's the thing. We have videos that we can show people of Zach talking about this well in advance, you know. I don't know what else we can say. We could probably segue to the next topic about the Anaheim Angels versus the Seattle Mariners and what a big joke that was.
All right.
Wow.
I want to hear it.
Well, what do you want? Do you want me to start talking about it, or do you want to play the video?
Oh yeah, let's do the video. Okay. So we are going to play Zach. Oh, it's 37 minutes. I didn't realize that.
No, we're not going to. We won't go all 37 minutes. We'll just we can just play the first 5 or 7 minutes where me and Zach are talking, and then I'll explain the rest. We're going to show you that whether Tyler Skaggs is dead or not.
We're on. Welcome back, Truth Seeker. We got Rich and Zach here. Where you at, Rich? Where's Rich at? I'm right here, bro. Rich.
Push pause. Push pause, Greg. Push pause. Push pause.
Okay.
I want everybody to know that I was heavily sedated on drugs in the hospital, and me and Zach were talking about what we were gonna talk about, and I thought we were still game planning for like 3 minutes, and I didn't know that we were on. Just so you know, in the first couple of minutes there, I didn't. I was like, are we? Oh, we're on. Okay, my bad. So go ahead, bro.
Okay. Do you want me to skip a couple minutes there?
No, you're good. It don't matter. I want you to just Here, let me set the table before you push play, bro. I think that's a better idea for people who haven't seen this. Whether Tyler Skaggs really died or not, we don't know. But what we've proved is this was a rigged baseball game. And what are the chances that the mother of the dead son throws out the first pitch a couple days after he drops dead, and the Angels score 7 runs in the bottom of the first inning to start the game out, and they end up with 13 runs, and 13 does equal 45. They scored 13 runs on 13 hits, and they got their second no-hitter in franchise history in 70 years on that day. So, like, when you pitch a no-hitter, that means the other team didn't even get a single hit the whole game, and the odds are astronomical of that. Now, the odds are even more astronomical that you score 13 runs in a baseball game. So they not only blew them the fuck out, and they no-hit them, and every player on the Angels wore a number 45 Tyler Skaggs jersey, and Tyler Skaggs' name equals 45. He wore number 45. You write out the number 13, it equals 45. What else? I mean, I'm sure Zach could cover whatever else I'm missing. Oh, the movie Angels in the Outfield. Remember that movie from the 90s, guys? Yep. Angels in the Outfield, like a ghost. Tyler Skaggs. What do you think that equals?
That's what I was thinking. Angels like a ghost. Yeah.
It equals 206, the Seattle area code. And you guys want to sit here and ignore our videos when we work so hard to show you how everything's a lie? Go ahead and roll the video, Greg, and we'll just sit here and just take it all in. This game was obviously a ritual because there's no freaking way that the game would play out just like this on the day Tyler Skaggs' mother throws out the first pitch for her dead son. Get the fuck out of here. Go ahead, bro.
Yes, I'm in the hospital.
You're not doing very well right now, but you're doing well enough to see the obvious lie in the Los Angeles Angels tribute game to Tyler Skaggs. Is this correct?
What's up, bro?
You called me up from a hospital bed tonight and you told me I need to check out this Los Angeles Angels tribute.
Absolutely, Zach. I called you up and we were having a long conversation. I was letting you know I'm in the hospital, and I looked up at the score, and it was 13-0 Angels. 13 hits, no-hitter. The Angels also threw a combined no-hitter. And I was telling you how the Angels scored 7 runs in the first inning after Tyler Skaggs' mother threw the first pitch out tonight. So, what are the chances of that, Zach? Why don't you tell them all the numbers we just found?
All right, sure thing. So I just wanted to make the point that you're not doing well right now. And even though you're, suffering in a hospital, the TV screen, the picture on the TV screen, just seeing it, you just said, "You got to be kidding me, man! How can people not see through this?" And you called me up, and I said, "Well, I'm not exactly in the mood because I have a migraine headache right now, but here we are anyway." 5 minutes later, and isn't that about how long it took to decode this atrocity that it is?
See, I still didn't know we were on.
We're on right now.
Yes, I didn't know. I was thinking, I didn't know if you hit record, bro.
We're on, man. We're live streaming.
It took we started with the 13 runs, 13-0, 13 equals 45. Tyler Skaggs wore number 45.
Well, in LA's 13
hits.
Right.
Yeah, 13 hits. Bro, you're the master at this.
All right. Here, I'll just. People don't know, I just put out a video July 1st about the death of Tyler Skaggs, the Los Angeles Angels pitcher, in his hotel room in Texas before the Rangers series. And I showed what a ritual it was. Now, the first game back in Los Angeles, you get Tyler Skaggs' mother throwing out the first pitch, which is suspect. You think she'd be probably still grieving and wondering what exactly happened to her healthy son who just pitched 2 days before he dropped in. But anyway, just look at this. Today's date has 58 numerology. Angels equals 58. Think about the film Angels in the Outfield about baseball players and death. Angels in the outfield happens to sum to 206, which is the Seattle area code. In the first game back in LA, they've now no-hit Seattle in this Tyler Skaggs tribute. Just think about it. What are the odds of that? And, of course, you know, he wore the number 45, which we talked about July 1st. His name, Tyler Skaggs, equals 45. When you write out Major League, it equals 45. When you write out 13 as a word, it equals 45. And tonight, the Angels won 13-0, and they had 13 hits, and they had a team no-hitter. And just think about that. I mean, what are the odds? And then when
when's the last time the LA Angels threw a no-hitter, bro?
Seriously, when is the last time?
When is the last time someone died on the baseball team, and then their mother threw out the first pitch, and then they just rattle off in their first at-bat, they score 7 runs in the first inning? It was so ridiculous. In the second inning, it was 7-0, and they had the bases loaded again. So they got their 7 runs in the first inning. Then in the second inning, they just picked up right where they left off, had the bases loaded, hit Mike Trout with the bases loaded, scored more. So like by the second or third inning, bro, we're sitting here in a 10-0 game. If you have half a fucking brain, okay, and I'm not talking to our people, the people who know it's scripted. I'm talking to the people out there who are the critics. I'm talking to the people who say baseball couldn't be scripted. They might as well pitch the ball underhand or hit it off a tee, bro.
Sure. And for anybody who just watched the All-Star game, they interviewed Charlie Blackmon. By the way, Charlie Blackmon in the All-Star game got his first hit in his third All-Star game, and he was 1 for 9. They were sure to point out that he was 1 for 9 in All-Star games while the camera was zoomed up on his jersey, number 19. 1 for 9 was number 19, and that was a home run. And then in the 8th inning, they mic'd him up. 19's the 8th prime, and he talked about how the home run derby the night before was rigged up. And then he also went on to talk about how he didn't like having that beard, but as long as he played baseball, he had to wear it, showing just exactly how much of puppets these guys are on the field. He essentially said he didn't want to wear that big beard he has, but that's part of the character he has to play in the theater of Major League Baseball.
Right.
So.
And just like that Justin Turner from the Dodgers, and you got Ryan Fitzpatrick. Here, I was an athlete just like you were, Zach. Why in the fuck would you want a bird's nest in your helmet?
Exactly, you wouldn't, man. Catching all that heat and sweat. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, this makes
It's a gimmick. It's just a gimmick.
It's a narrative. It's a character. That's why this stuff's just like the WWE, man. And it's little stuff like that.
It's just like how if you type out beards equals 113, and in the 113th World Series, there was never more beards. All those guys were made to grow out those big bird's nests. As you just put.
Are you talking about like when
Dodgers and Astros?
Like the Red Sox?
Dodgers and Astros World Series.
Oh, I was thinking of the Red Sox days with Johnny Damon too.
Yeah. No, 113th World Series. Yeah, so that was the beard World Series.
Guys, I want everybody to know that me and Zach were sitting here having a conversation. And I said, hey, Zach, did you see the Angels score? He didn't even know. He didn't have nothing put together here. It took literally 60 seconds. That Angels in the outfield thing that he came up with, boom. I mean, just like that. I mean, what else?
I didn't know about the Angels in the outfield thing when he said that. That's why I popped on it.
Listen, I don't even. You just asked me if I'd heard about the Angels. I said I don't even know where the Angels play. I said I think they play baseball, and
yeah.
But I can tell from what you're seeing that's rigged. That's fake. That's that's so freaking awesome.
Absolutely, bro. Because baseball's like a game of pool. Every game's gonna be different, and say the first batter of the game comes up to the plate and he hits a little grounder and gets thrown out. The next 2 guys could get out too. But say that first guy got on base, that might cause a bunch of people to get on base and score. But the point of what I'm saying is it's so different that it's actually hard to manufacture runs in baseball. A run is a point, Greg. I know you don't know sports that well. A run is the same thing as 1. If you score 2 runs, you have 2 points. So for them to just score 7, if you get 1 in your first at bat, you did pretty good, and you got lucky. Because a lot of innings in baseball, they'll put up zeros. So what are the chances? It's a big Tyler Skaggs thing. The mother throws out the first pitch, and then the Angels batted around in the first inning, bro, and scored 7 runs. That was clearly to pop the crowd. It was for the home crowd. It was to make everybody, It didn't
like
naturally happen.
9/11 or something after that. Didn't the New York Jets win? Oh, there's something about the New York Jets or something after 9/11.
Well, that has nothing to do with this, but that's the Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe, New York Jets, 9/11 Patriot Act riddle. That has to do with 9/11. That has nothing to do with this, though.
No, it has nothing to do with this, but it's like it was an obvious pep of, for the home team kind of thing because of a disaster or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Greg, you're getting better at sports, bro. But no, that was what happened there. Drew Bledsoe was a Hall of Fame quarterback for the New England Patriots. He wore number 11. This was before Tom Brady even existed. Mm-hmm. Drew Bledsoe went down because a member of the New York Jets hit him. The ironic part about that is that a jet hit Bledsoe, who's number 11. A jet hits the buildings that look like an 11.
Yeah.
Well, what? Bledsoe goes down and emerges Tom Brady. Well, when the actual jet hit the buildings that look like 11s, what emerged from that? The Patriot Act. The same as when Tom Brady emerged, the Patriots won the Super Bowl, and Tom Brady became the best thing since sliced bread. And when the Patriot Act emerged, what did we get? GPS, cell phones, surveillance. The Patriots were cheating every year within their script, winning the Super Bowls every year. So, yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I hope people do listen to this video who didn't know that, who haven't seen me type it a million times, because it's the truth. And I wish I could be locked in a room with Tom Brady or any of these motherfuckers for 5 minutes. I'd beat the snot out of somebody, bro. I'm not even kidding, bro. I'm not the toughest guy on the planet.
I picture a Batman movie, and you're picking him up, and he's like, "Give me the names. Who set you up to this?"
We've been mocked all of our life.
Yeah, I know.
I don't find this funny one bit, bro. I know you're snickering. I don't find it funny one bit, bro.
Well, it's funny that just people don't get it. I mean, it's sad too, because just people are betting on this stuff, losing money, and the game's rigged. It didn't matter how they bet. You know what I mean? There was zero chance of them winning.
You know what though? Yeah, I bet money on games too, and I was rooting for my Dolphins and getting mocked, and I was rooting for the Cubs and getting lied to because it's all rigged. But you know what? I don't care about losing $20 on a bet.
Right.
What I care about is not only was the game rigged, it was synced up with 9/11, which was supposedly done
about it. Right.
It was supposedly done by terrorists, but it was really our government.
Exactly.
Because
that's where it starts to get serious, because they're telling us over and over again how well they knew it, how well they planned it, and how well they understood all of this for decades before it happened.
Flight AA-11 crashed in the 11th state into the buildings that stand 110 stories tall. In numerology, you take the 0 off 11's the master number. So flight AA-11. AA is also an 11 because A is 1 in gematria. So what happened 11 years to the day of flight AA-11? What happened 11 years to the day of September 11th? George Herbert Walker Bush made his famous speech on September 11th, 1990, of a new world order. Mm-hmm. And then 11 years later, his son's president. That's a real democracy.
Yeah.
His son's president, and 9/11 happens 11 years later in the 11th state. with Flight AA11.
I mean, it is time for enough people to see this that, you know, if 1 million people do go descend on Washington, D.C. with this understanding and take it seriously enough to know that your government did this all these years.
Greg, I'm sorry. I'm pissed off. I have friends and family members that I've heard through the grapevine that say that I'm out of my mind, or I've went cuckoo, or you know what I mean? I'm a conspiracy theorist. I've never been a conspiracy theorist in my life. I've always ignored and laughed at conspiracy theories. When I found Zach Hubbard's work, I kept listening. I wanted to listen to another video and another video and another video. You know why? Because I'm smart. Because I can put one and one together. Because I have critical thinking skills. And you're going to sit here and tell me that Flight 77 crashed 77 minutes later into the 77-foot Pentagon on the 77th meridian, and that was done by a man in a cave and is a coincidence? What else do we got, Greg? Yeah, the 93. I don't know. I don't tell that one that good.
That's the one that crashed in the field in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but I don't have a riddle for it.
Well, 93 represents, you know, it's not the sun's 93 million miles away. You know, it's a combination of 39 books in the Old Testament. You know, that's the Thelema number. That's about the religion of George Bush. You know, that you know, thinks so highly about the number 93.
Well, Greg, you know, a lot of people that follow our work already know about these topics we talked about, but we just kind of exposed the Golden Gate Bridge theory that's been going on. We exposed 9/11. We exposed what was the other one, bro? The one we just did it. I just have a short memory of the angels. Well, what else do we got here to cut a promo on, bro? What else is another major one that we could tell them? You know, we could probably go another 10 minutes and get another one out. I mean, we might as well. We're sitting here teaching people shit that's for conspiracy theorists.
Well, you like the sports things and everything. Look about how we was talking about the 135 and what's Tiger Woods equal, and he won this year. Tiger Woods 135. You know.
Yeah, Zach actually predicted Tiger Woods to win that a year in advance, and Tiger hadn't won in 3, 4, 5 years. So that, you know, how does that happen? You know, I mean, and I don't understand, man. Me and you haven't really met. Have you met Primo, the new guy that's been doing live streams on our page and stuff?
No. Your sound quality is really bad at the moment. I don't know if it's just on my speakers or if it's going to show up on the video, but it's doing that robot thing again.
Well, when we play the video, I'm sure to play.
Yeah,
but
speakers.
It don't matter. I forgot what I was going to say anyway. I'm kind of, you know, I'm on medication a little bit, and I don't know. I think we made a pretty good point here. I mean, I hope somehow this can go viral or whatever, but I doubt it. You know.
Well, I would think after this many times of showing, and we catching Gilbert Godfrey, you know, saying this about if something does happen, that really ought to be the time that people rise up. Because, I mean, 9/11 caught everybody by surprise, but this one's not catching anybody by surprise. I mean, not anybody that's been paying attention. And, you know, if we all know this in advance and something does happen, I mean, this is a big wake-up call to say, okay, let's take it to the streets, take the videos with us as we go, show them to everybody that wonders why we're there. And, you know, the proof's here. It's time to...
Wait a minute, bro. If something happens to the Golden Gate Bridge, why wouldn't Gilbert Godfrey be arrested right away?
You'd think, right?
I mean, unless he can just call out Mother Nature, Mother, you know, not man-made, but natural earthquakes in advance.
But, you know, think about this, Rich. They could turn it all with that kind of logic. They could turn it around and blame it on Zach and say we did it. Maybe we shouldn't go to the Golden Gate Bridge just for that reason.
You'd still have to prove it, even if they did do that. I mean, where's the evidence? You know?
Well, they didn't have to prove anything for Lee Harvey Oswald. They just killed him.
Jeez.
You know? I mean, they just arrested him and said he did it and then killed him the next day before he had a chance to say anything. You know? I mean, that's the way they do things, you know? They turn around and say Zach did it and organized it. And, you know, we had this thing saying we were going to go down there. And, you know, you can imagine. You can imagine what's going to happen. Maybe
okay,
let's go down there just for that reason.
Hold up. We got videos on the Angels thing and everything. And let's erase the Angels thing for a minute. And let's just go back to this Golden Gate Bridge thing. How are we possibly getting trolled? Can you think of any? There's no way, bro. How is it that in our face?
Well, the only thing they could say is, well, he is a comedian. I mean,
where'd he get his information from, bro?
Exactly.
We're censored to death.
Mm-hmm.
You think Good Morning America's talking about what Zach Hubbard's talking about, bro?
No, and I honestly don't think that Gilbert Godfrey got this from Zach. I think he knows the riddle and is part of the group of people that are going to do this, you know?
Okay, well, that being said, let's I want to open the psychology up for it. Let's say it's all natural, and let's say Zach don't know about the Golden Gate riddle. I don't know about it. None of us know about it, right?
Right.
And Gilbert Godfrey just says something like that out of the blue, right? And then an earthquake happens and something happens to the Golden Gate Bridge in like a month. You're with me?
Okay.
How does Gilbert Godfrey explain that he predicted that?
Yeah, unless he can predict earthquakes a month in advance. That's, you know.
But, well, we don't even know if it's an earthquake yet.
Right,
we don't know if it's an earthquake yet.
Right.
So let's take, if you got to take 10 seconds and think about it, Greg, try to give me an answer here. And if you can't give me an answer.
Your question is, how else would he know?
How does he explain if something happens to the Golden Gate Bridge and he told everybody yesterday or whatever to not go on the Golden Gate Bridge, and we're going to pretend that Zach Hubbard or nobody else, because we're all nobodies, bro, you know?
Oh, yeah, you're going to say, well, he's going to say, I heard it online from Zach Hubbard.
I guess. Why wouldn't he make light of that? Why would it be Gilbert Godfrey on Instagram with the initials GG like Golden Gate with the 77 numeric? But something. See, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this, bro, because I'm not. There's something not adding up with it.
Well, definitely, whatever you figure out, keep me posted. So I'm interested.
I'll be sitting there with you with the popcorn, bro. I mean, we might as, you know.
I'll tell you.
We might as well get the Zach Hubbard popcorn, bro. You know.
I wish I had a real nice long distance camera where I could just sit there all day on the 10th and 11th and just film it, you know, and every hour erase it or whatever and start over until something does happen. So, because you're going to want footage, and, you know, they're going to fake so much crap, just like they always.
You got a Twitter account, bro?
No, I don't do Twitter.
We ought to go on Twitter and I got one, but I don't know how to. I got to figure out the login. We ought to go on there, the whole page. Everybody on Daily Dosage of Gematria should go on their Twitter and just totally.
You could have a blast Twitter day or something. I'll go create one just to do it. But hey, listen, Rich, Mother Nature's calling. I've got to get, so I am going to end it here. So,
okay, before Mother, what I'm saying is we all go call out Gilbert Godfrey on Twitter. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, sure, I'm all for it.
All right, bro. Well, good video, and go ahead and post this on Facebook and tag both our names on the heading, or send it. Can you send it to me and I'll post it, and then you can post it in your places you want to. But can you send it to me to where I can post it?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I can put it on Daily Dose, and then you can do what you want with it from there. Yeah.
Okay, okay, you go to Daily Dose, put the heading on, then I'll copy the link and I'll put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good video, Greg, and good to see you again, brother.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.